Hi, you're welcome to Johnson Praise TV. My name is Johnson Praise, and this video is all about Infs111 Pasco review. This is episode 1. I have 50 questions for you, and as you know, this video is for your exams and your eyes. If you watch this video to an end, I'm expecting you to perform extremely well in your exams and your eye. So if you are here for this purpose, then I will entreat you to watch the video to an end. Don't skip the video. It is very important. Watch to an end. Make sure you subscribe. Smash that subscribe button and give me a follow. If you have not followed me, make sure you do that and turn on your notification bell. Anytime I release a video, you'll be the first person to receive it. I'll drop a link under my channel, so that is under the comment section. Make sure you click on that link. It will direct you to my WhatsApp channel where you can follow us on WhatsApp during this examination period and IE period. I'll be giving you some tips on my channel. So if you are there, any video I release, I'll be bringing you video on business administration, that is your exams review, and I'll also be bringing you video on psychology and public administration. So you can't afford to miss this exciting opportunity. Join us on WhatsApp, and for us, I bring you the most interesting Pasco review. This video, I'm going to release 4 sets of videos. Okay, these videos are going to help you a lot. They are strategic videos. So if you watch all these videos, and I'm expecting you to do better in your exams and in your eye. So this video encompasses of 50 questions. So we are going to go through 50 questions. If you skip this video, means you have missed a lot. Another video will be 50 questions. So I'm bringing about 200 questions in all, and this is what going to help you. It covers everything on INFS 111. Without really wasting my time, let's get started. So this is episode 1. Episode 2 will be coming very soon. Watch all the video, episode 3, 4, and that is it. If you are done with, at the moment you finish watching episode 4, you can now relax and go and write your exams. And trust me, the video is also some of the questions, information studies, you need to play and replay it. If you say you've watched it once and you are okay with that, you may end up forgetting, because it comes with a lot of events, a lot of concept and stuff. So you need to watch it at least watch it like 2 or 3 times before you go and write your paper, and the answers will stick in your mind. Okay, that is it. So if you learn and it's not going, this is some of the strategies. Okay, we'll meet in academic writing net. I'll take you through academic writing next semester, so you get to know some of these reading techniques. Okay, let's get started. So number 1, in copying graphic matter by the action of light on an electrically charged photoconductive insulating surface, which concept am I trying to define? Dash is what? Copying graphic matter by the action of light on an electrically charged photoconductive insulating surface. So A, we have what? Xerography. B, fax machine. C, polygraph. D, pulse oximetry. So the answer is what? Xerography. So xerography means what? Is copying graphic matter by the action of light on an electrically charged photoconductive insulating surface. Okay, so xerography, as I said, is a process of copying and using light to create an electrostatic charge on a surface, okay, attracting toner particles to form a copy. Right, let's move on to number 2. Dash are systems that generate data on the spot. Dash are systems that generate data on the spot. A, we have what? Management information system. B, real-time monitoring system. C, advanced system. D, we have a digital system. So the answer is what? Real-time monitoring system. So the real-time monitoring systems are what? They are systems that generate data on the spot. Right, let's move on. So example of real-time monitoring systems are what? Medical applications. We have what? Pulse oximetry. We have thermometer. We have what? Online electric cardiography. All of them are what? They are all examples of what? Real-time monitoring systems. Okay, let's move on to number 3. Dash is storing most Dash is what storing mostly used data on multiple servers that can be accessed via the internet. So this concept is what is storing mostly what is what storing mostly used on what multiple source that can be accessed via the internet. So we have we have blockchain, B cloud computing, C digital library, and then D we have what GStore. The answer is what cloud computing. So cloud computing is storing mostly is storing mostly when data is used is used on multiple servers that can be accessed via the internet. So that is what the definition. So that is the definition for cloud computing. So when multiple servers are being accessed via the internet, we call it cloud computing. Let's move on to number 4. Information ethics are very A simple, B complex, C understandable, D clear. So information ethics are very complex. So the answer is B. So information ethics are extremely complex. Okay, issues not about information or technology and all those. So the answer here is what we call complex. So information ethics are very complex. It is not simple, okay, and it is not understandable nor clear. The answer is complex. Let's move on to number 5. The use by an individual does not reduce the number available to others. The use by an individual does not reduce the number available to others. A collective good, B private good, C merit good, and then D market good. So the answer is collective good. So the use by an individual, the use of collective good by an individual does not reduce the number available to others. So it is collective good. So if you use it, it doesn't reduce the number available to others. So this is because collective good is used by many individuals simultaneously, and the use by one individual does not diminish the availability of the goods to others. So this is it. So if information is a collective good, if one individual uses it, it doesn't reduce its quality. It is still the same, right? So that is how the whole thing. So this it distinguishes collective goods from private good, where individual use does not affect the availability. Okay, so that is it. Let's move on to number 6. Car radio was invented by A Edwin Howard Armstrong, B Paul Gavin, C we have Thomas Edison, and then D we have John Tyndall. So car radio was invented by Paul Gavin. Paul Gavin invented car radio. Let's move on to, so he invented it in 1929. Paul Gavin invented car radio in 1929. So they can ask you the year that Paul Gavin invented car, and you should be able to tell. Okay, that's why I said that this video, you don't just need to watch it once, you need to watch it continuously as I pronounce the words, and then the years, it will stick in your mind. Okay, let's move on. Number 7. This is a good used by one individual. We have A social good, B private good, C merit good, and then D collective good. So this is private good. Private good is used by one individual. So it is private good. So it is used by one person and requires to increase personal satisfaction, right? So that is it. Let's move on to number 8. This is a private good that society believes is important enough to supply publicity. Okay, so number 8 says that this is a private good that society believes it is important enough to supply publicity. So we have A collective good, B private good, C merit good, and then D we have what we call market good. So the answer here is merit good. So it is merit good because merit goods are private goods that society deems important enough to provide publicly. So these goods are typically supplied with what public funds, often because they have what positive what externalities or benefit for society beyond the individual consumer. So that is it. So example include what education and what healthcare. So this is what we call what merit good. Number 9, a private good does not deplete by use. True or false? Yes, it is true. A private good does not deplete by use. So a private good does not deplete by use. Once consumed by one individual, it is still available for others to consume. Okay, so information does not what typically deplete by use. So information in general, it does not what it does not deplete by use. So this means that it is not like the physical object whereby or a consumable whereby you buy goods, you consume it, and then you are done what you just what it deplete, it diminish. Okay, with the information it is not like that. Okay, so one of the characteristics of information is that it does not what deplete by use. Okay, so unlike the physical goods where consumption reduces what the quantity available for others, information can what often be shared and accessed by multiple individuals simultaneously without diminishing its availability. So that is how the whole thing is. Number 10, a set of customs and traditions gained from social practices is called A, moral, A, value, B, moral, C, ethics, and then D, digital divide. So a set of what customs and traditions gained from social practices or a practice is called moral. So the answer is what? Moral. It is not value. So the answer is what? So moral are what? Moral is what? Is a set of customs and tradition gained from social practice. Okay, so that is the whole thing. Let's move on to number. Okay, so these are the definitions. There are some key definitions you need to pay attention to. So first of all, let me explain this concept to you. Value. So when you say value is consistent belief that a specific way is what is a consistent belief that a specific way of behavior or conduct is what personally or socially preferable to the opposite. So this is what we call what value. But when you talk of what morals, moral is what set of what morals or customs and traditions derived from what social practice or religious what guidance. So values are what they are subset of what moral. So they can ask you that that is our subset of moral, so you should be able to tell that it is what values. Okay, values are subset of morals. Number and then we have what ethics. So when you talk of ethics is a branch of what philosophy which deals with what ways of what life which the world how they call, let me take it again. The ethics, when you say ethics is what? It's a branch of what? Philosophy. It's a branch of philosophy which deals with ways of life which are what are worth following and which actions are right or wrong. So these are what ethics. So something that is either right or wrong is what ethic. And then we have code of ethics. Code of ethics are what? They are a set of principles that guides the practice of a profession. And then the last one that we'll talk about is what? Digital divide. When we talk of digital divide, is what? Is the gap in understanding, capability, access to technology in order to what? Exploit digital information. So that is what we call what? Digital what? Divide. So let's move on to number 11. Number 11, for a person to assess the real value of information, he or she has to A, buy it, B, sell it, C, experience it, D, understand it. So the answer is what? Experience it. So processing information is just the first step. To truly understand its value, individuals need to actively engage with the information, apply it to relevant context, and observe its impact. For example, knowing about a new technology is one thing, but its true value is realized when someone uses it to solve a problem. Okay, or improve efficiency, or probably create what something new. So for example, we have car, right? So you probably seeing car is different from you using car. Okay, so for you to assess the real value of car, to actually what experience the real value of a car, you need to what experience it. You need to at least sit in it, know how it works. Okay, the same way there are some technologies that are in the system that we are using. For you to experience the real value of a computer, you need to what you need to actually what experience it by what by getting a computer for yourself. That one you can go through, search all the applications and try to do whatever you want to do. You get it now. Now let's move on to number 12. Number 12 is what? The context hieroglyphics. Okay, so in the hieroglyphics, the pictographs were dash, object, B, number, C, alphabet, and then D, ideas. So the answer is what? Object. The answer is what? Object. So with the hieroglyphics, when you talk of the hieroglyphics, they are what? They date back to the 3000 BC. Okay, that is where they were developed. So 3000 BC, that is before Christ came. Okay, so 3000 years before Christ came, that's where they were what? They were developed by the Egyptians. Okay, and they were called what? Writings of the gods, and has what? 3 symbols. So these symbols are what? Pictographs. So the pictograph represents what? Object. And we have ideograph. Ideograph represents what? Ideas. And then we have what? Alphabet. Alphabet represents what? Phonetic. So when you talk of what? The question says that what? In the hieroglyphics, the pictograph were for what? So let's look at the pictograph. Okay, so the pictograph are for objects. So do you get it? Now let's move on. Number 13. In determining the value of information, this is the amount one is willing to pay for the information in the marketplace. A, apparent value. B, value in use. C, exchange value. And then D, we have merit value. So this is what? Exchange value. So when you talk of exchange value, is what? Is the amount one is willing to pay for the information in the marketplace. When I go to the market, you are selling shoe, and I need that shoe. It's what? We all come to a consensus. We agree on the price that I will be buying. Then what? The amount that I'll be paying. So we exchange it. So that is what? The amount that one is willing to pay for an information is what we call at the marketplace. Is what we call what? Exchange value. Number 14. Internet came in A, 1980s, B, 1960s, C, 1970s, and then D, 1950s. So internet came in the 1980s. So the answer is what? A. It came in what? In the 1980s. So that is it. So you have we have the year that modem came in what? 1958. Audio cassette came in what? 1962. Video disc came in 1963. We have ARPANET. It came in 1960. And then we have what? We have internet. It came in what? In the 1980s, like I said. And you have WW came in what? 1991. And then VCR also was introduced in what? 1970. Number 15. Dash are first known as what? Recorded information. They are what? They are first known recorded as what? Recorded information. So A, we have what? Hieroglyphics. We have what? B, we have what? Paleolithic paintings. And then C, we have cuneiform. And then D, Sumerian writings, or the Sumerian, right? So we say that one is what? Is first known record information. It is what? They are what? First known record information. So let's look at it. So which of them are we talking about? The answer is what? Paleolithic paintings. So with the Paleolithic paintings, they are what? We call them what? The age of stone. So Paleolithic paintings are first known recorded information, or they're first known as what? Recorded information. This is where they write on stones. Okay, and it date back between what? 30,000 to 32,000 BC. So this one, they will ask you, Paleolithic paintings date back to what? And you should be able to tell that it date back to 30,000 to 32,000 BC. Okay, and they are representation of what? Animals and news venues. Okay, and they are found in what? In the case of what? Cheveret Pont Dark. Okay, that's where they are found. Number 16. Historically, systems are used to record and provide access to information, which was A, flexible, B, static, C, permanent, and then D, digital. So that is what? Historically, systems are what? Are used to record and provide access to information, which was static. Okay, which was static. So the answer is what? B, that is static. So historically, systems used to record and provide access to information was static. Okay, so today they are interactive systems that allow for creation, storage, and retrieval of what information. So in the olden days, the systems that we used to create information, they were static. Okay, but today there are so many things that we are using to create information. We have the computer games, we have blogs, wikis, wikipedias, and so on. Let's move on. Number 17. This is system of writing. Okay, so this system of writing was complex, containing more than 2,000 symbols. So this system of writing was complex, containing more than 200,000 symbols. 2,000 symbols. Sorry, it is for 2,000 symbols. So which of them are we talking about? We have what? A, hieroglyphics, B, Paleolithic painting, C, cuneiform, and then D, Sumerian. So the answer is what? Cuneiform. So the cuneiforms are what? They date back to what? 3,500 BC. Okay, so they came before what? Christ also came. That is 3,500 years before Christ came, and it was being developed by what? The Sumerians. Okay, it was what? Being developed by what? The Sumerians, and they are what? Complex what? They are complex, containing more than what? 2,000 symbols, and then later reduced by what? By more than half. Okay, so this is what? A cuneiform. Okay, it is what? It is cuneiform. The answer is cuneiform. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to number 18. Development of information as seen in the following, except A, infrastructural development, B, grant, C, regulation, D, apparent value. So the answer is what? Apparent value. So development of information as seen in the following. Infrastructure is what? Is part. So we have what? Creation, generation, production, dissemination of information. That is part. We have infrastructure development. We have what? Grant or other support, and then we have regulations. So all of them are what? Part, with the exception of what? Apparent value. Let's move. Number 19. Which amount the following goes back to 3,500 BC? Okay, this one I've already explained it, so if you know, drop it under the comment section. Okay, 3,500 BC, before Christ came. Which of them are we talking about? Okay, we have A, hieroglyphics, B, Paleolithic painting, C, cuneiform, and then D, Sumerian. So the answer is what? Cuneiform. Cuneiform was developed what? 3,500 BC. That is what? It was developed 3,500 years before Christ came. Okay, so and also what? That is what? The cuneiform. Let's move on. Number 20. FEPA is, so these things, the exams is going to be in 3 forms. They are going to give you true or false questions. They are going to give you multiple choice, like what you are doing, and they are going to give you filling or short answers. So these things, the fillings, expect something like this. So they will ask you, then you provide the answer, and when providing the answer, know when to start with what? A capital letter, a small letter. Okay, so if it is in the middle of what, let's say, like I say that heliographic dash. Okay, so you don't start with a capital letter, you start with a what? A small letter, or a lower case. Okay, but if it starts with a sentence, then you start with what? An uppercase. Do you get it? So FEPA. Okay, the FEPA, when you talk of FEPA, what does it mean? So we have what? The FEPA means what? Family Educational Right and Privacy Act. So FEPA means, that is FERPA. That is FEPA. FEPA means, I'm not going to mention the other options for you. Okay, I want this one to stick in your mind, so I'm giving you the right answer straight away. So the rest, if they come out, you know that they are not part. So FEPA means what? Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act. Do you get it? Let's move on. Number 22. Okay, LexisNexis is example of A, database, C, B, cloud computing, C, static information, D, we have collection management. So this is what? LexisNexis is an example of what? Electronic database. It is example of what? Electronic database. HIPAA, which is what? HIPAA, represent what or stand for what? What is the full meaning for HIPAA? HIPAA means what? Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. Write all these things down, right? You should be able to know and spell them well, because if you are going to do it on your computer and you type even the portability, you don't get the full meaning well, or you don't get the spellings well, you get it wrong despite the fact that you know. So I'm not mentioning the other options for you because I want you to know the right answer. Just the rest doesn't matter. So HIPAA, that is what HIPAA means: Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. It's not acts. If you add s to it, you get it wrong. Okay, so it's Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. Let's move on to the next, number 23. USAPA stand for, that is what? USAPA, which is what? USAPA stand for what? United States of America Patriot Act. Okay, that is what? United States of America Patriot Act. Look at the state. Okay, the state, United States of America Patriot Act. So they can only give you the word usurper and they will not give you options, but they ask you to provide it. You should be able to know that it is what? United States of America Patriot Act. Number 24, inkjet and laser printers came in the middle of what? A, 1980s, B, 1960s, C, 1970s, and then D, 1950s. So the inkjet and laser printers came in the 1970s. They came in the what? The 1970s. That's where they were what? Invented. Number 25. The cuneiform is characterized by the following, with the exception of A, it dates back to 2500 BC. B, developed by the Sumerians. C, contain financial records. D, had more than 2000 symbols. So the answer is what? A, that is what? Date back to 2500 BC. So cuneiform date back to what? 3500 BC and not 2500. So that these questions are what? Tricky. You may know it, but if you are not careful, you get them wrong. So spend time on these things and get them right. Okay, let's move forward. Because the data are things that you should know. If you don't know, you don't know, right? But there are some important, that's what there are some important details you need to pay attention to, and that's why I'm recording the video, because with the video you can replay it and still what? It will stick in your mind, right? Let's move on to, so reason why we said, so we have gotten the answer. All the options I mentioned, I mentioned out in, with the exception of what? The 2500 instead of what? The 3500 BC. Number 26, the good can be used by many at the same time. A, we have what? Collective good. B, private good. C, merit good. And then D, market good. So this is what we call collective good. So collective good can be what? Used by many at the same time. Collective good. So let's look at it, whether it is true or false. So collective good is also known as what? Social good or public good. So if you don't get collective good and they give you social good or public good, you should know they are the same, and it is used by what? Many at the same time. So you get reason why the answer is a collective good. Okay, and it does not deplete by use. Okay, so let's move on. Number 27, microprocessor came in A, 1971, B, 1981, and then C, 1982, and then D, 1972. Okay, so what I'm going to do to help you is that I'm not going to mention the other options for you because they will confuse you. I'm going to mention only when it has to do with date. Okay, I'm going to mention the correct date, so you don't even think about other options. It doesn't even come in your mind. You should know that when I mention, you know that this is what the right option. So I hope you get it. So with this one, when I read and it has to do with this date, I'm going to mention the right date. So even if you are replaying it, the date can stick in your mind. You get that point? Okay, so now we are going to, so microprocessor came in 1971. It came in 1971. Okay, 38. Okay, 28. So forgive me. Okay, so 28 and I made it 38. So the first typewriter was invented by A. It was what? So let me mention the person. So the first typewriter was invented by W.A. Best. Okay, W.A. Best. Okay, W.A. Best invented the first typewriter. Okay, so he's the one who invented the first typewriter. That is W.A. Best. So he invented it in what? W.A. Best invented the first typewriter in 1829. Okay, number 29. Port in information transmission stand for. Port in information transmission stand for. It stands for what? Plain old telephone service. Plain old telephone service. That is, so port is what? POTS. It stands for plain old telephone service. So when they ask you, you should be able to know what port means. So the port, they stand for what? Plain old telephone service. It refers to what? The traditional analog television system that uses what? Copper wires to transmit voice signal over the public switch telephone network, which is what? So the public switch telephone network is what we call what? PSTN, public switch telephone network. Okay, number 30, the heliographics. In the heliographics, the following were present aside: A, pictograph; B, ideographs; C, alphabet; and then D, numbers. So I've already shown it to you. This one you should be able to tell me the answer. In the heliographics, which one wasn't part of the heliographics? If you know number 30, I'm expecting the answer. Which one wasn't part? Okay, the answer is what? Numbers. Numbers were not part of what? The heliographics, but the heliographic include what? 3 core or 3 aspect or three key things. These are what? The pictographs, the ideographs, and then we have what? The alphabet. But numbers were not part. Okay, so they are here, you can check them, and or they all what? Represent what? Certain things. Okay, the pictograph represent what? Object. The ideograph represent ideas, and then alphabet represent what? Phonetics. Number 31. Okay, the first photocopier was invented in dash. The answer is what? B, which is what? 1937. The first photocopier was invented in 1937. The first photocopier was invented in 1937. Okay, so it was invented by what? Chester F. Carson. Okay, in what? 1937. So it was, so photocopier was what? Invented by Chester F. Carson in 1937. Number 32. The problem associated with human movement of message are as follows. Okay, so A, we have signals over short distances; B, short time consuming process; C, difficulties in sending complex messages accurately; and then D, we have what? Language barrier. So what it says, what? Problems associated with human movement of messages are as follows. Okay, so which of them is not part of what? The problems associated with human movement of messages. Okay, so all the things you mentioned are inclusive, with the exception of what? Language barrier. So language barrier is not an option, it is not part. Number 33. Since information can be bought and sold, it is called economic good. Since information can be bought and sold, it is called economic good. So it is not collective or corporation or personal good, but it is what? Economic, because we can buy information. Most of these company pay people to go and do research. So what? They pay them. Okay, so they buy information, and when they do research, company pay people to do research for them. They keep it because it is a property. Okay, so it is what? Economical aspect of information. That is economic aspect. So since you can buy and it can also be bought, it is called what? It is what? Economic. Number 34. Digital libraries possesses these characteristics except A, they can be searched. Okay, they can all be searched. It is true. B, they can they can be accessed from everywhere. That is also true. C, we have what? They can all be copied using electronic means. That is also true. And D, they do not need electronic device to be accessed. It is false. For digital libraries, if you don't have electronic device, how do you access it? If you are in a village where there's no mobile phone and they ask you to search for information or probably check whatever that is going on Twitter, can you do that? So this is what? Not an option. You look at the characteristics here. So first of all, let me explain what digital library is. So digital libraries are what? They are a collection of books, journal articles, graphics, newspapers and other materials in digital format. All of them. So you see these PDFs and stuff, they are all digital, in digital formats. So information or books that are in their digital format are called the digital libraries. Okay, so that is it. Number 35. Bicycle was invented by Patrick Macmillan. Okay, so Patrick Macmillan actually invented bicycle. Okay, he invented bicycle. That is Patrick Macmillan, not the rest. Okay, let's move on to, he invented it in 1939. Patrick Macmillan invented bicycle in 1939. So I'm giving you a try question here. Please make sure you do research and reply me under the comment section. Please make sure you do this. Okay, make sure you do this. So I'm going to give you 1 minute to do that. I'm going to pause for 1 minute for you to participate in this assignment. So it will help you, because when you go to exams and they ask you some of these things, I'm not there to give you the answers. So please make sure you do the research and get me the right answers. I'll mark them for you. So drop it under the comment section for me. So identify the acronyms and explain the relationship of each of the following ethics. A, copper. B, SIPA. D, FEPA. C, that is 4, which is HIPAA. D, usurper. And then number 6 is CIS. Okay, that is WSIS. So the copper is COPE. COPE. So you give me the acronym for COPE, and then you give me the acronym for you give me the full meaning for CIPE, and then you give me the full meaning for FERPE. Give me the full meaning for HIPEE, and then give me the full meaning for USAPE, and then the last one is WSIS. I want the full meaning for these things. So please drop them under the comment section. As you are dropping them under the comment section, you are doing it. Okay, I'm giving you that 1 minute. So that 1 minute period that you are dropping the comments, you are dropping it under the comment section. Let me take this opportunity and also announce you, those of you who have brothers and sisters that want to travel, please, we have so many packages for those people that want to travel outside. There are some scam, a lot of scam in the system. Some people are actually scamming a lot of people and stuff. But here comes Global Assurance Travels. You can visit our website at Global Assurance Travels. You can see our offers. We do visa before payment, payment before visa, and payment in installment. If you want to go to USA, if you want to go to Canada, if you want to go to Australia and some of these countries that you want to go to, get in touch with us. You visit our website. All our information are available there, or probably you can contact me after the class. Okay, so you can contact me, then we'll see how best we go about that. So that is it. You when you talk to us, we'll see how best we can help. Number 37, www came in B, which is 1991. So www came in 1991, right? So you should pay attention to this. It came in 1991. Number 38, information cannot be considered as an economic factor, true or false. The answer is is false. Information can be considered as economic factor, because it can be bought and can be sold. Do you get it? So it is information is an economic factor. So if someone tell you that information cannot be considered as an economic factor, the person is lying. So the answer becomes false. Number 39, ICT revolution commenced with digital technology revolution, true or false? The answer is what? False. When you say digital technology revolution, digital technology revolution didn't just start, it didn't start from the beginning. Okay, we migrated to some level whereby now people began to develop these systems where we can put information in the digital space. So it didn't really what start with that. So but there are some people that believe that information, how do you call it, the ICT revolution, it has to do with what, human what, human voice, okay, as an instrument of change, whereby like the way we talk, it is what, it is what, ICT. Okay, some of them believe that in that. Okay, let me give you a try question. Try question 1, 2. This should be what? Okay, so the questions that I gave to you, okay, this is the answers to them. So if you didn't do the research, I have the answers here. So COPPA means what? Children Online Protection Act. CIPA means what? Children's Internet Protection Act, right? Children. So look at the children's. That is what? Children's Internet Protection Act. Okay, and then FEPA is what? Family Educational Right and Privacy Act. HIPAA means Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. Number 5 is what? USEPA is what? United States of America Patriot Act. And then CIS, okay, CIS, which is what? WSIS, which is what? World Summit on the Information Society. World Summit on the Information Society. So that is what the answers to the try question 1. Number 40, dash is a consistent belief that a specific way of behavior is socially wanted to the opposite. Dash is what? It's a consistent belief that a specific way of behavior is socially wanted, okay, or socially accepted to the opposite. Which one are we talking about? We have what? A, value; B, moral; C, ethics; and then D, digital divide. So this is what we call what? Value. So value is a consistent belief that a specific way of behavior is socially accepted, okay, or socially wanted to the opposite. Okay, so it is value. I've already explained these things to you. Number 41, the two potential roles of government include fostering development of information, and so we have given you one. So which one is the second potential role of, like I said, so we have equalization of what? Access to information. We have what? Restricting information. And B, which is what? Increasing demands for information. The answer is what? Equalization of access to information. Okay, so these are the two major roles of what? Government: fostering development of information and equalization of access to information. Okay, so COPPA stands for what? I've already explained it. So drop number 42, drop it under the comment section for me. Number 43, Paleolithic paintings were located in the caves at Mesopotamia. A, Mesopotamia. B, that is what? Chevret Point Dak. And then C, we have what? Egypt. And then D, we have Ethiopia. So the Paleolithic paintings were located in the caves at what? At the Chevret Point Dak. Okay, Chevret Point Dak. Okay, and number 44, Eric and S cohorts are example of what? A, extranet; B, extranet. A, intranet; B, extranet; C, electronic databases; and D, ports. So the answer is what? Electronic database. So we have them here. So storage and retrieval of information, which is what? Electronic databases. So we have what? Eric, and then we have what? EBSCO host. Okay, EBSCO host. They are all examples of what? Electronic database. So number 45, we have what? Gigamesh. Gigamesh epics were preserved by writings by the A, Egyptians; B, Sumerians; C, Chinese; and then D, the Greeks. So the Gilgamesh epics were preserved by the writings by the Sumerians. So the answer is what? So it is what? The Sumerians. Okay, so that is it. So that is the Giga Mesh Epic, the Giga Mesh Epic. So number 46, ARPANET came in the late 1960s. ARPANET, it came in the late 1960s. All right. I'm giving you another try question. So car radio was invented by A. Car radio was invented by A. Edwin Howard Armstrong. B. Paul Garvin. C. We have Thomas Edison, and then D. John Tyndall. Okay, so drop it under the comment section. Try question 2. Drop it under the comment section for me. So it was what? Invented by what? By who? Okay, drop it for me. Number 49, modem. Okay, so when I'm done with number 50, I'll give you the answer for the try question 2. Number 50, modem came 47. Okay, modem came in 1958. Modem came in 1958. All right, that's the answer. Number 48, alphabet in the heliographic represents A, object, B, number, C, phonetic, and then D, idea. So the alphabet in the heliographic represents what? Phonetics. Number 49, these are cost of information except A, production cost, B, overhead cost, C, profit margin cost, and then D, underhead cost. So the answer is what? Underhead cost. So pricing of information, under the pricing of information, we have what? Production cost, we have overhead cost, we have profit margin cost, but there's nothing like what? Underhead cost. So that is what? The odd one. Okay, so number 50, let's look at number 50. Number 50, we have what? The heliographics were invented by the A, Egyptians, B, Sumerians, C, Chinese, and then D, Greeks. So the answer is what? The answer is Egyptians. So the Egyptians developed what? The heliographics. Okay, so let's look at the last the try question that I gave to you. Then we see we look at the try question. So radio was invented by Paul Garvin. Okay, Paul Garvin invented radio in 1929. Okay, so this is what? The end of the end of what? Episode 1. Watch out for episode 2. I'll release that one very soon. That is going to be another 50 questions. Okay, and I'll do a comprehensive review on all these questions. Make sure you share it on your academic platforms for me. Okay, somebody may need your assistance, so by so doing, don't just benefit from it alone without sharing. So you share it on your platform, share it with your friends, and let them also benefit from it. God bless you. See you in the next episode. Thank you.